Imagine looking down at the vast Pacific Ocean from space. From that distance, Earth usually looks calm, blue, and endless. But every now and then, something extraordinary happens. Something so unusual that even satellites stop and take notice. On January 10th, 2026, NASA captured exactly that. A massive, glowing ring appeared in the Pacific Ocean near a remote group of islands. From orbit, it looked like the sea itself was changing color, turning bright shades of turquoise, green, and electric blue. At first glance, it almost looked unnatural, like a strange chemical spill or some unexplained phenomenon. But what NASA saw wasn't pollution. It wasn't a storm, and it wasn't anything man-made. What they captured was one of the most important and powerful natural processes on Earth, unfolding on a breathtaking scale. This glowing ring was actually a gigantic phytoplankton bloom, an explosion of microscopic life so large and vibrant that it could be seen from space. And it happened around one of the most isolated places on the planet, the Chatham Islands. But why here? Why now? And what does it reveal about the hidden forces shaping our oceans? Today, we're going deep into NASA's discovery, unpacking the science, the mystery, and the incredible chain reaction that turned an entire region of the Pacific into a swirling masterpiece of color. To understand what NASA saw, we first need to understand where it happened. The Chatham Islands are a tiny, remote archipelago located about 800 kilometers east of New Zealand's South Island. Most people have never heard of them, and that's not surprising. Only around 600 people live there. The islands are small, windswept, and surrounded by thousands of kilometers of open ocean. For most of the year, the waters around the Chatham Islands look just like any other part of the Pacific, deep blue, quiet, and empty. But every austral summer, between December and February, something remarkable begins to unfold. The surrounding ocean transforms. Swirling patterns of green and turquoise appear in the water. Fish populations surge. Marine mammals arrive in huge numbers, and satellites begin detecting strange, colorful formations on the surface. This transformation isn't random. It's driven by a massive underwater geological feature known as the Chatham Rise. The Chatham Rise is an enormous submarine plateau stretching more than 1,000 kilometers across the seafloor, and it acts like a giant engine for marine life. According to NASA Earth Observatory, this region sits at a rare and powerful intersection. Cold Antarctic currents flowing north, warm subtropical waters flowing south, strong seasonal sunlight, unique underwater topography. All of these factors collide right here. And when they do, the result is a perfect environment for one of the most important organisms on Earth, phytoplankton. On January 10th, 2026, NASA's satellites captured something spectacular. Using the VIIRS instrument aboard the NOAA 20 satellite, scientists observed a massive, ring-shaped bloom encircling the Chatham Islands. From space, it looked like a glowing halo floating in the ocean. Swirls, spirals, and delicate ribbons of color stretched for hundreds of kilometers, shaped by currents and underwater eddies. These images didn't come from ordinary cameras. They came from highly advanced Earth-observing technology designed to detect tiny changes in color on the ocean surface. The Joint Polar Satellite System, known as JPSS, along with NASA's EOSTIS land system, allowed scientists to monitor the bloom in near real time. What they were seeing was an explosion of microscopic organisms called phytoplankton. Individually, these organisms are invisible to the naked eye. But when trillions of them gather together, they become powerful enough to transform the color of entire sections of ocean. That's exactly what happened here. Sunlight reflected off their chlorophyll, the same pigment that makes plants green on land, and satellites picked up the signal. The result? An enormous, glowing ring of life, swirling gracefully through the Pacific. So what exactly are phytoplankton? In simple terms, they're the foundation of life in the ocean. They're microscopic, plant-like organisms that drift through the upper layers of the sea. And despite their tiny size, they're some of the most important living things on Earth. Phytoplankton do three critical things. First, they produce oxygen. In fact, about 50% of the oxygen you're breathing right now comes from phytoplankton. Not rainforests, not trees, the ocean. Second, they absorb carbon dioxide. They play a major role in regulating Earth's climate by pulling CO2 out of the atmosphere. And third, they form the base of the entire marine food chain. Everything in the ocean depends on them. Small fish eat phytoplankton. Bigger fish eat those fish. And larger predators, like sharks, seals, and whales, depend on that chain continuing. Without phytoplankton, the ocean ecosystem would collapse. So when NASA detects a massive bloom like this, it's not just a pretty picture. It's a sign that the ocean in that region is bursting with life. But why do these blooms happen so intensely near the Chatham Islands? The answer lies beneath the waves. The Chatham Rise acts like a giant underwater barrier. As ocean currents move across it, cold, nutrient-rich water from the deep is pushed upward toward the surface, a process known as upwelling. Those nutrients are like fertilizer for phytoplankton. Add strong summer sunlight and stable ocean conditions, and you have the perfect recipe for explosive growth. Scientific studies, including research published in the New Zealand Journal of Marine and Freshwater Research, have repeatedly shown that this region is one of the most productive marine environments on the planet, and that productivity supports entire ecosystems. Where phytoplankton bloom, life follows. The waters around the Chatham Rise support rich fisheries that local economies depend on. Species like blue cod, rock lobster, pāua, squid, all thrive here because of the steady supply of food created by these blooms. And it doesn't stop with fish. The region attracts at least 5 species of seals, more than 25 species of whales and dolphins, countless seabirds. In many ways, these colorful swirls seen from space represent the heartbeat of an entire ecosystem. But this story has a mysterious and troubling side. The same region famous for marine abundance is also notorious for something tragic: mass whale strandings. The Chatham Islands are one of the world's hotspots for these heartbreaking events. Entire pods of whales and dolphins sometimes wash ashore here, confusing scientists and rescuers alike. Researchers believe the unique underwater geography, complex currents, and magnetic anomalies of the area may interfere with animal navigation. In other words, the same forces that create perfect conditions for life may also contribute to disorientation and danger. It's a powerful reminder that nature is both beautiful and unpredictable. NASA's image of a glowing ring in the Pacific isn't just a stunning visual. It's a window into the hidden machinery of our planet. A reminder that even in the most remote corners of Earth, invisible forces are constantly at work, feeding ecosystems, shaping climates, and sustaining life on a global scale. From space, it looked like the ocean was changing color. But in reality, it was simply doing what it has done for millions of years: breathing, growing, and reminding us just how alive our planet truly is.